Morning, Clown World. How we doing out there? Microphone check. Every day we wake up, there's more and more clowning around here. I thought we were going to get Fed Chair Powell speaking this morning, but apparently it's later on this afternoon. I may not be able to catch that live. So I am going to jump in here, and we're going to take a look at the volatility that's taking place on the New York Open. And I am your host with the honks, Jason Bruce, honking on in. Tuesday morning. Happy Valentine's Day, folks. Thanks for checking out my stream. Love you for that. All right, friends. So with that in mind, I'm going to jump over to Bitcoin. Hey, I think we got Justin joining us now, too. Let's take a look at the volatility that is popping up right now in the markets. So we did have a CPI print this morning. The data came in higher than predicted, I believe, at 6.4%. I guess the forecast was 6.2. The previous was 6.5. So, you know, it's still coming down, but not at the rate that they wanted it to. So what does that mean? Is Powell going to be more hawkish when he speaks later today? We'll have to try and use the charts to figure that out. Right now it does look like some of the dumpage is losing steam here a little bit on the 7-minute time frame for the ES1 S&P E-mini futures. So you can see here we did have a nice wick on this green candle, some dumpage down, a little more green up, some indecision by the sellers here, then a little more dumpage. And right now, you know, it looks like this level was broken. Looks like you got the point of control broken on this area here, but also got the stochastics RSI that's creeping into that oversold territory. So with these wicks here, really not a whole lot of velocity on these candles. We could see some type of reversal here in the next few minutes. Let's see if we can actually flag this out on an even smaller time frame to get a better result. So I'm going to drill down into a 3-minute time frame here. Anytime you see this sort of falling price action, can tend to end up be bullish in the shorter term. So what you would really want to see is, you know, something like that. So you're creating a higher high. So let's see if that plays out for the S&P futures in the next few minutes. Want the price to get back up above the 41.45 level. All right, so let's take a look at how Bitcoin's responding to this, as it does tend to be correlated to the S&P. You know, I really have to question that day in and day out as to why it actually is correlated to the S&P, other than the fact that you have traders that maybe don't understand what it actually is. The S&P doesn't really offer you any utility. It does offer you some relative safety and protection from some of the larger upside and downside, protection from the upside, right, that you see in Bitcoin. But realistically, you know, where would you rather have your money, the S&P or in Bitcoin? And I do have some of my money in the S&P, don't get me wrong. I am slightly diversified in that manner, but the majority of my money is in cryptocurrency. And when you think about it, there's utility and use case and things behind Bitcoin that the S&P just doesn't have access to, using your money anywhere, things like that. So with that in mind, we'll get away from those usual fundamental arguments that you hear on a lot of channels, and we'll try and make sense of what we're seeing here for Bitcoin on this 30-minute chart. It looks like we're actually getting a decent bounce now. We've got this point of control around $21,804. This area was highlighted because it did potentially represent an area on a larger time frame that could show us some bullishness. So I'm going to highlight that right now and jump out to the daily chart, and we're going to take a look at the close from yesterday. And I want to make it clear here what we might potentially be seeing and what's acceptable within the realm of what comes after it. So really highlighting this close from yesterday, which best I can tell is a dragonfly reversal doji. So we'll go over that real quick because this is an important candle, and if this does play out the way I see it potentially playing out here, this type of a candle can carry quite a bit of weight. That one's not giving us the resolution that we need. This one's a little prettier. Maybe not. Let me find a good example here, folks. Sorry. Lovely. So you can see here, this isn't the best representation of it because typically the ones I see, they do have a little bit of a wick to the upside as well. But you can see them form this flat top too. So you can see here, short wick or no wick to the top, long shadow, and a short body. So this is a good example here. And you can see either a green or a red candle come in to show that reversal. But typically it's going to come in at the bottom of a down move, and really all we want to see is the next candle have a shorter wick than this one, and we want the body to close even with this dragonfly reversal doji. So right now we do have some sellers pushing us down to this 21,680 area. We want this candle to wick back up, and we want to close the day. Would be nice to close it above 21.8. So let's see if some buyers can come in and push us back up to that level. It may depend on what Powell has to say later on today, but I do like this green candle that's coming in on the 30-minute. We are sitting above the point of control, or we were there until we zoomed out just a little bit. So when we see this formation here, it's not really the prettiest thing, and it lends itself to a bit of a distribution, or maybe even just a symmetrical triangle. So we can look at that like that. Symmetrical triangle, some people say it's a continuation pattern. Some people say it's 50-50. I do see them break either way, so I don't want to make a hard determination on this pattern because we do have so much volatility today. But just keep in mind that we do have potential move in either direction. So like 22,565 upside. And 20,825 low side, which is definitely an area that we've seen some support and resistance at and some battles at over the last several months as we've continued to consolidate and kind of move up and down in the range that we've been in, which has been somewhere in the area of about 15,500 to 25,000. So right now we're still towards the upper half of that range. So let's zoom out a little bit here. See how things are looking in terms of our retracement. And you can see here that we're kind of consolidating just below this 0.236 fib. And this measured move down would take us directly to the 0.382. So there is confluence there that we need to be aware of. The point of control, when we zoom out on this 4-hour time frame, though, it comes all the way back down to 16,500. So does Bitcoin give up this entire move? Do we dump all the way down? We do have some support here as well at the 200 daily moving average, just above 19.7 thousand, which is just below the 0.5 Fibonacci level at 19.892, excuse me. So there's also some confluence there with the Bitcoin futures, as that's just below the CME gap level that needs to be closed. So there is confluence for a bit of a bearish move here, but that doesn't necessarily need to happen. We just need to be cognizant of what the lower time frames are doing today, because there is so much volatility. So with that in mind, you know, you can be looking 12-minute, 15-minute, 24-minute, 30-minute, you know, anywhere out to an hour or 96-minute to kind of get a little better grasp of where things might be going. 96-minute might be a little bit sketch, and maybe this almost looks like a bit of a diamond pattern forming here too. So maybe that represents a potential reversal. We just really have to keep an eye on things today, because it's probably going to get a little ugly later on this afternoon. So you can see here on your RSI, you know, usually when Bitcoin's forming some type of a, you know, fairly obvious pattern there, you'll see it reflected somehow in the RSI, and you can see the RSI is forming a pretty symmetrical triangle there as well, consolidating right around this midpoint 50 level. This 96-minute time frame really does give some interesting reads, so if you're looking for a different time frame, it's not a bad one. So with that in mind, yeah, we want to make sure that we're potentially seeing that dragonfly reversal print. So just since I brought that up, we pushed the price up a little bit more. On stochastics RSI, extremely oversold. RSI just below the 50 level with this consolidation here. So there is a good chance for a move there for Bitcoin. So let's jump over to Ethereum real quick. So it looks like we're getting a little bit of green here on this 10-minute time frame for Bitcoin. So Ethereum looking pretty similar to BTC. Swing out to the 96-minute here. Price has overtaken the upper area of the Bollinger Bands. It's trying to negotiate this point of control around 1519, just below 1520. RSI showing a little bit of strength, bouncing off this 50 level here. On the 96-minute time frame for Ethereum versus US dollar tether on Binance. So that's fairly encouraging for ETH price action. You know, maybe we can read this a couple different ways. Maybe it's more of a parallel channel. Or, you know, once again, a diamond. There's probably a few ways to read this, but without worrying about the pattern itself too much. Let's Just trying to figure out where the momentum on our oscillators is at, and you know, this is pretty flat right here in terms of the RSI. So when you see that like perfectly flat there, you know, and you've got a significant difference with, you know, the close on these candles and the close on these candles being a significant swing down lower, that's not all bad there. So typically that would represent a bullish divergence that is starting to play out. We do see this green candle. There is the resistance from the previous pattern here that we're going to want to get back above. So I think if we can see Ethereum close the day, or you know, even just a 6-hour candle above 1571, which was this resistance level here, that'll be encouraging. And if we can negotiate our way back into this channel and above maybe 1597 or 1600 level, probably gravitate back towards this POC at 1636, and we'll see if we can actually break out of this pattern. So there is possibly some bullishness coming in for Ethereum right now, and let's see what it's doing versus BTC, because that looks really nice. You know, this is a real bullish consolidation move where you're potentially forming a W pattern. This would give us a huge breakout move. Look, boom, right up to that level. Right up to that level. So I think that's where we're going for ETH BTC. The momentum is definitely coming in right now for Ethereum versus Bitcoin. Let's see what else we can jump into here real quick. So let's jump over to Matic, pretty closely correlated to Ethereum and Bitcoin. Given that it is a layer 2 solution for Ethereum, so my idea for Matic the last time didn't play out the way that I would have liked. We did get this bearish retest and dump down, and we're right in this same area that BTC is at, but maybe showing a little bit more strength actually, as we're still trying to move towards the middle Bollinger Band in this point of control here, and renegotiate this 0.236 fib. There hasn't been much of a retrace yet. This really doesn't look that bad for Matic. So let's see what happened here. Yeah, this is real similar to Ethereum, where you just got this kind of descending parallel channel. Let's see if we have enough velocity to break out of that and create a new high here. I think it actually looks promising on this 4-hour time frame, given the bounce on the RSI and where the stochastic momentum is at. This doesn't look all bad. Really doesn't look all bad. I'm gonna swing over to XRP. This doesn't look bad either. We're forming this bullish candle here on the 4-hour time frame. You know, we tried to break out of this larger downtrending resistance. Thought we were going to potentially form an inverse head and shoulders. It really honestly looked like a decent setup, and that failed, was invalidated, and we've since dumped down in what kind of looks like a falling broadening wedge, which, yeah, that's kind of pretty actually. That should be a bullishly biased pattern for XRP, and that could give us a nice move to the upside if that does indeed play out. Let's clean this chart up a little bit here. Let's maybe look at this cup as being a little more exaggerated here. And then maybe we can even look at this as a larger pattern. So it does still stay in that falling broadening wedge idea. And that's a lot prettier right there, because really it shows you the dump out of the rising wedge, which is a bearishly biased pattern. Form the cup here, and now forming this handle with this bullishly biased falling broadening wedge. So this isn't all bad for XRP right here. Some areas to look at for resistance. This downtrend line here coincides with the upper Bollinger Band. That's around 38 to 39 cents, closer to 39 cents. Got this point of control here, just above 39 cents on the VRVP, and just above that we have the 200 daily moving average at 39.59. So, you know, when you see all these resistances, it's going to be pretty choppy. But the Bollinger Bands and this formation are telling us that we're going to get a move here. So we have to watch around this area with the point of control. I would say if you're breaking above 40 cents, you know, by the time we get to this area in the pattern, then you're looking at picking up some momentum. So let's see what a measured move would look like for that scenario for XRP. And good Lord, when is this SEC case going to get resolved? When is the TA going to tell me that's going to happen? Let's see where this goes. That was pretty close to a previous area I was looking at, so that's up around 58 cents on the measured move for XRP out of this cup and handle on the 4 hour. So not all bad for XRP right now. Let's see where the retracement has us right now. So the retracement for XRP actually came all the way down to the 0.5 fib, and that's a healthy retrace if we've actually experienced a pivot into a new uptrend or potential start of a bull market. So that right there is a nice area of confluence on the Fibonacci for XRP. I like what I'm seeing for XRP right now. It's showing strength on the 4 hour, and you know, we also have something similar on the RSI here, where we're seeing pretty flat RSI and a pretty definitive difference in the close of the price action with the swing down to swing down. So some bullish divs there on the 4 hour on the RSI for XRP as well. I do like what I'm seeing here. This is not all bad, folks, not all bad at all. So I don't have a lot of horrible things to say right now, as Boom! Bitcoin just took a massive leap. Confirmed that dragonfly reversal doji that I just highlighted on the 1-day chart. Woo! Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Confirmation with the RSI swinging just above that 50 level, showing the strength of this move on that candle. We called it. We called it. We called it, folks. We called it. How about that? So that's some good stuff right there on the live. We banged it out, got the green candle to the upside, confirming this dragonfly reversal doji on the daily. Now we're battling this 0.236 fib. You can see the price moving perfectly up to that level. The Bollinger Bands on the daily are telling us that we are going to come up here and challenge new highs for this swing on Bitcoin here after we've broken out of what appeared to be over a year-long downtrend, folks. This is going to give us some confirmation here if this candle plays out. This looks fantastic. Fantastic. And keep in mind, I am not trying to pat myself on the back. I'm happy for everybody that was able to take advantage of what's going on and who accumulated over the last year, you know, buying the dips and buying the pain and just hanging in there. So this is going to pay off for you from what I'm seeing, because this is perfect. Perfect bounce off the point of control on the 4-hour here. Oh, this is lovely. This is lovely to watch. This is what we came to see, folks. This is what we came to see. So, you know, full disclosure, I've been staying in swing long positions since we started coming up from 16,000 into the 17,000 range. Holding longs on Ethereum, Matic, Mana, Sand, and ApeCoin. So we're going to bang those to the upside along with Bitcoin here. And this candle's picking up momentum. We're well above that 236 fib now. We're probably going to gravitate towards this next volume node here, which is going to take us into that $22,800 to $23,000 level. I highlighted that in some of the channels that I'm in earlier this morning, and this is just exactly what we were looking for. So that's always a lovely thing. We didn't want to see that big red dildo party today for Jerome Powell. We wanted to see these green light go dildos for all you Bitcoin and crypto hoes out there. How about that? Yeah. Okay, let's take a look on the 12-hour here. This is banging exactly where we need it to be. Stochastics RSI has moved into this neutral territory with showing some strength here with the blue on top. So we do want to see that go back into this overbought territory like we saw here, so we can make this big up move. This is the move that I'm looking for out of this pattern for BTC. I did highlight this in some of the groups earlier, and this is where we're going if this pattern plays out. And I took that measured move directly from the Dragonfly Doji breakout candle, so that's one potential target. If we take it from the top of this pattern, scooch it up just a little bit, maybe to right around that support and resistance level. Let's see what other kind of target we might see. 33,365. So that 333 could gravitate towards that. Let's look in that zone between $32,000 and $33,000 for Bitcoin, provided Let's push back here where they were giving us that VRVP reading. This is the one we're looking for right here. Provided we get a 12-hour closure above $22,997 for BTC, I believe we will be going north of $30,000 here, and we're going to blow some minds. So if that happens, folks, you're going to see some FOMO and some madness, and probably some really crazy comments from people who may have not been buying over the last several months. Man, I was just thinking to myself a little while ago, maybe I should buy a little more, and I did not do that on that little dipsy do. Maybe I still will average in a little bit here. Got too busy kicking into the live stream and didn't take advantage of that dip. So it may just be that, 21.3 was the dip there, and we had a really weak swing by the bears. That's pretty much what I'm seeing right now. And when you see that type of weakness from the bears, where, really this price action just swung back down to the top of this previous consolidation. And, if we kick back out above this area, it's, above 25K. So let's just highlight 25K here. So that was like our last top area, right? When we swing back here. Let's put it exactly to that wick. What was it? 25,206. So yeah, that's close enough. 25,196. Yeah, that's what we want to see. So this really does represent kind of a cup and handle here as well. So yeah, this move is likely to play out, in my eyes, likely to play out right now with the candle that Bitcoin just printed. It's a big candle, big candle. Let's go, people. Let's go. Let's crank it up. Let's get it cranking. Let's see what some of these alts might start to do. Let's see what's happening here as this breakout continues for Ethereum BTC. Let's jump over to total 3. Is going to give us a picture for what the alts are doing. And that is breaking out above the point of control on the 6 hour. We just need to avoid this bearish retest of this channel. We just want to keep moving. We just want to keep it moving. We just want to keep it popping, folks. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. But this green candle is encouraging. It is encouraging. S&P losing a little steam here on the smaller time frames. Let's see what the hourly close looked like. Pretty long wick on the downside there, staying above the point of control. That's not all bad for the S&P right now. The hope would be that would continue to move up and potentially out of the top of this falling broadening wedge. So this falling broadening wedge and a bit of a cup and handle here, we could definitely see a breakout, and this is forming something fairly similar to what we were seeing for some of the crypto assets. So definitely that correlation that we do tend to see, and not all bad. Not all bad, folks. Now we're seeing this candle start to turn green a little bit, flash a little bit of green just there for a second. There it goes for ES1, S&P 500, E-mini futures. I believe we'll be moving to the upside here pretty shortly if we drill down. Yep. This looks good, folks. You know, everybody's been bearish, but when you see a macro trend reversal likely confirm, people who are trying to short the market here are the ones who are going to pay dearly. And, you know, if you don't really know what you're doing and short directly from these resistance areas instead of from the consolidation lows that we were just in, you are going to get wrecked. So if you did have shorts open, this is probably the time to close them out if your stop loss didn't already. Because from what I see here, it's upside coming for the crypto markets. Upside. Let's take a look at just the total market cap itself, including Bitcoin and Ethereum. And we're seeing similar price action here for total as well. So, you know, once again, we just have to keep in mind that we did fall out of this rising wedge. If the price action is able to move back into that, we do have this larger downtrending resistance spider line from the top of the market that the total market cap has not actually negotiated yet. So even when we came up to the top of this rising wedge, it didn't actually challenge that level. So I think right now, this may be where we see the confluence of that, as we can see that coinciding perfectly with this top Bollinger Band. And if there's a candle that breaks out above that and we break back into this rising wedge, I'm going to see some bang, 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 fireworks, all kinds of fun stuff for the crypto markets. Keep in mind, folks, I'm not trying to be a moon boy. This right here, this Max Payne-Ageddon label that I put on this chart, this has been here for months. Okay? For months. I have been looking down here at the potential for the market to take us all the way down to a $560 billion market cap for cryptocurrency. That hasn't happened, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen right now. It looks like we have confirmed a macro bottom. This is hugely important going forward for how we approach these markets and how you approach any trading strategy that you may be using going forward as well, because the shorts are the higher risk play going forward here from what the market is telling me. So let's keep that in mind from what the charts are telling us. The total market cap right now is moving above $980 billion, currently at $982.3 billion. What we really want, folks, what we really want is to get back above $1 trillion. Okay? And $1 trillion is just above this middle Bollinger Band. I do believe we're going to be challenging that shortly. If not today, then sometime into tomorrow, definitely this week. So I will still stay cognizant of the fact that we could see a brutal double top rejection up here, okay, from this downtrending resistance line. Definitely want to keep an eye out for that, as it could bring us down potentially to consolidate to the bottom of this resistance that has flipped support that we broke out of, and down to this point of control, which is around $808 billion. So We see an almost, 16, 17% move to the downside with this breakout candle that we just saw. It is possible if we get rejected by this area, but we have to take some more time for the pattern and patterns to mature here, as there's a lot of confluence of support and resistance lines, spider lines, previous resistances that failed after we dropped 25K the last time. So that's why this has turned into what it has over the last few weeks after we made that strong up move. You can see this has been a lot of chop. Almost looks like a Bart Simpson, but I think they may be trying to fool us with that, as it does look like we are printing this strong green candle here. So not all bad, folks. Not all bad. For the total market cap, crypto looks good. I'm going to jump over real quick as the S&P continues to gain momentum this morning on the ES1. We're going to take a look at the DXY. What were the Dixie futures? Darn it. It was the DX1, right? US dollar index futures. Yeah, DX1, here we go. This is a chart that I'm going to be using more for the what a lot of people refer to as the DXY. This is US dollar index futures on the ICE exchange. So that's the Intercontinental Exchange. So this gives us a nice volume profile of futures contracts for the US dollar. I'm going to swing out to the 12-hour here. My music is starting to clock. So DX1 12-hour on printing a green candle. So we've got some interesting contradictory signs here, where we're seeing a green candle on DXY futures, and we're also seeing green candle come in for Bitcoin. So we have to be aware of what we're seeing here. This may just be a relief rally or sideways move for the dollar. When the dollar moves sideways, Bitcoin will pump. So this 12-hour candle here is pretty new. So let's zoom in just a little bit. I just want to... Yeah, see, it looks like the dollar's trying to gain strength right now. So is Bitcoin hitting some local resistance? Doesn't look like it. Maybe. But maybe this is going to be one of those weird days where we see both the dollar and Bitcoin pump, dollar and markets pump. Well, we're starting to see just a little bit of red come in as we zoom into the 24-minute on Bitcoin. So interesting picture here for the dollar index futures. This 2-day is almost showing strength and consolidation here above this middle Bollinger Band. But there is rejection at the 50 level on the RSI. So it's something to keep an eye on here with the dollar index. Keep in mind too, you're not necessarily going to see like direct daily correlation with these assets. You may see some moves that aren't, directly correlated on that particular day. It just depends on where the charts for each one are going to take us. So right now, as we're coming up on a 4-hour close at the top of this next hour. This was a nice candle to the upside. And I think we can continue that move. So that's what I'm seeing right now. What I'm seeing this morning for Bitcoin And cryptocurrency, not all bad, folks, not all bad. You've got markets gaining strength. This is a bit of an odd consolidation with the dollar. We'll continue to keep an eye on that as it consolidates just below this 0.382 fib. There is some confluence up here with this VRVP node and the 200 daily moving average. So price for the dollar could potentially gravitate up there and get rejected. I really was looking for a move below that 100 level, somewhere in between about 95, 96, and maybe up to about 98. So we'll see if there's some continued weakness for the dollar, if maybe it consolidates and dumps down to the top of this line here that it looks to apparently have broken out of. So kind of interesting moves for the dollar and the market in general. It does look like the dollar is trying to gain momentum on the 3-day. We'll have to see how this plays out. Let's take a different fib on that. Let's say that was the bottom for the dollar, and maybe the dollar's just going to give us a relief rally here. So I would look at this area possibly as well, around 109, 110. For a potential rally to fizzle out for the dollar. We do have this cross here with the middle Bollinger Band and the 200 daily moving average. So we did see a little bit of confluence there where it kind of wicked up and got rejected from this downtrend channel. So possible consolidation and more move up for the DXY. So we'll have to see how that continues to impact Bitcoin as it moves forward on these smaller time frames here. Still trying to move up a little bit on this 7-minute, not seeing any bearish divergences creep in yet. So BTC could still continue to move up in the short term. I think, in fact, that's probably likely. So that's where I'll leave off for right now. We can see the total market cap's moved up a couple billion just since I highlighted it. XRP's printing a nice green candle here on the 4-hour. This is not all bad, folks. Not all bad. I think we've only got Justin in the chat. Justin, you got any questions, man? What's going on, bud? Can you hear me out there? Not getting any feedback or love in my chat today, man. What's going on? It's Valentine's Day. Where's the love, folks? Where's the love? Sorry, the mic kind of peaked out there. I don't know what that even sounded like. So I never got a mic check from my people. I don't mean to complain, folks. But my goodness. Show me a little love for what I just brought you. If you made it this far, smash the like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. If you haven't, hit the bell for notifications. This is Crypto Clown World. My name's Jason Bruce. I'm going to honk on out of here. And I love you folks. Have a happy Valentine's Day.